Codemasters F1 series has been shooting along the straight for well over 10 years now, but with a new kid on the grid in F1 Manager, there's finally an opposition. F1 Manager 22 has seriously impressed us here at Racing Games, to the point where we're starting to want some of its features in F1 23 when it launches next summer. EA and Codemasters now have serious competition when it comes to Formula 1. This could mean a changing of the guards when it comes to the Formula 1 game of choice. However, EA and Codies do have the ability to prevent this by adding a few key features from F1 Manager 22. I'm Mark from Racing Games, and here are 3 features from F1 Manager that F1 23 really needs to have. F1's My Team mode has been a roaring success since it revolutionised the F1 game's career mode back in 2020. For the first time, we were able to create and manage our own Formula 1 team in the F1 game. F1 2021 changed things up a little bit, but since then the mode has largely remained the same. It's high time we get a shake-up, but how? Well, for a start, it would be good to be able to hire staff similar to how you can in F1 Manager 22. In F1 22's My Team, your team grows with investment, but you don't have any say on how many employees you have, nor who is working for your team. With the exception of your drivers, there's no indication of whether you have a staff list of 100 or over 1,000. Sure, we can see their morale, but even then, you don't know if you've upset only a handful of people or half your entire workforce. Now, we're not asking for every single staff member to be represented in the game, but it would be nice to be able to see department heads in the game. Even if it's only a head of aero, chassis, engine, and durability, this would add a lot to F1 23. It also adds a new element when it comes to developing your team. You can drop a couple $1 million into your durability department to improve one aspect, or you can hire a whole new head of durability to improve the department overall. These staff members don't even need to represent the real team staff. We'll happily take new gens so long as it's done right. Before we move on, have you subscribed to Racing Games yet? Just one click and you're on the Racing Games grid. Oh, and hit that notification bell too so you never miss an upload. Alright, on with the video. It is really cool to see Codemasters including Formula 2 in the game each year, but besides driver ratings, not a lot has changed since F2 was first added in 2019. F1 Manager 22 went one step further by including the F3 drivers too, and they didn't even stop there. Thanks to F1 Manager 22's reserve driver role, there is almost a driver academy feature within the game. You can develop your reserve driver by placing them in the car for practice sessions, and there is no reason why Codemasters can't add something similar to this in F1 23. Teams such as Red Bull, Ferrari and Alpine are famous for their driver academies, and F2 and F3 drivers having these affiliations would make F1 23 even more realistic. Have you ever wondered why so many cars in F2 and F3 have Red Bull branding plastered all over them? Well, wonder no more. The Red Bull Driver Academy stretches far beyond F1, with a plethora of young talent supported by the Bulls throughout their racing careers. This should be replicated in F1 23 through you being able to create a driver academy for your own team, or even having the option to loan drivers from other academies or teams, like Williams have done with Alex Albon. We think having an extra academy department added to your team would be a neat way to do this, with more investment leading to higher rated academy drivers. Like I said before, it would also be really cool to use your academy drivers in practice sessions, so maybe F1 23 should have the new rookie in practice sessions rule too. That's not a bad idea either. Now we know this idea won't be for everyone, but there will be some F1 gamers that will love this option. In F1 Manager 22, you don't compete in the races themselves, instead you view them from either the onboard camera of the cars or a top-down view of the circuit. We think the option to jump in and out of the car and switch to a top-down view would work well in F1 23. A bit like what we see in the FIFA series, you should have the option to simulate the race, but be able to jump into the action whenever you feel like. This gives us the option to change our minds rather than jumping straight into a pointless result with no way to go back. Likewise, there should also be an option to hop out of the car and view the race from above for a bit during the middle stint. You know, that part of a race where nothing really happens before the final pushes at the end. By being able to join and leave a race at will, maybe we'll finally be able to conquer a full calendar season without skipping Monaco, Baku, and any other tracks we just don't fancy. We already have a system online where pausing the game doesn't stop the car on track, so it does look like this is something that's possible to add. This could also be a logical next step for quick practice too. Instead of all the action being restricted to a menu screen, we should be able to watch the cars going round the track still. All we ask is that this feature is optional. Believe it or not, some people actually enjoy 100% races around Monaco. Mad, I know. These are just 3 ideas for features F1 23 could borrow from the F1 Manager series, but we know there are plenty more out there. We of course need to make an honourable mention to red flags, but we've covered that before, so we'll red flag that conversation here and now. Do let us know down below any ideas you might have, and if there's enough, we'll come back for a part 2. Oh, and also remember, this is just a bit of fun. F1 23 is well over halfway through development now, so most if not all features will be locked in. If these ideas don't make the cut, be sure to return in a year's time where we'll be pitching our ideas for F1 24. For now though, thanks for watching. I've been Mark from Racing Games. Please like and subscribe for all things F1 and F1 Manager, and now I'm off to finally reveal the name of my upcoming Young Driver Academy. It's taken me months to come up with this name, but here it goes. The Young Racing Driver Academy. It's got a nice ring to it, hasn't it?